guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Be Brave podcast with me, your host, Grace Annesley. Today we're going to be talking about things that are completely normal in eating disorder recovery that aren't often talked about. Because this is such a large topic, there are going to be two parts to it, so make sure to stick around for episode 2. Before we jump in, I want to remind you that if you don't or didn't experience any of these things, please remember that your experience is still just as valid. Everyone's body and everyone's experience is different, but that doesn't make it any less valid. Alright, let's jump in. One common occurrence in recovery is night sweats. I'm going to be completely honest, these aren't the most pleasant occurrence, but they do go away after some time. One cause of night sweats is hypermetabolism, or when your metabolism speeds up. This can occur when your food intake increases. Your body is also adjusting with a whole lot of new hormones running wild, so it's no surprise that these hormones have a few side effects. My advice to you would be to turn on the air conditioning, grab some cool wet face washes, get out your summer pajamas, and try and find yourself a fan. Another common occurrence in recovery is healing hunger. Because this is quite a large topic and there's a lot of science and a big explanation behind it, I'm going to make an episode exclusively dedicated to this. For the meantime, if you're feeling confused or have some questions, I recommend heading to Tabitha Farah's YouTube or her books for a great explanation and some reassurance. Just know that your body is on your side and it is trying so hard to heal itself. My advice would be to eat whatever you want, whenever you want, however much you want. The only way out is through. Be kind to yourself, pull out the heat packs and comfy clothes, and you will get through this. During recovery, many people also experience quite intense emotions. Whilst eating disorders can occur due to a multitude of reasons, one purpose they may serve is to numb emotions. So once you begin to recover, it might feel like your emotions are hitting you like a ton of bricks. While there might be some extreme lows, take note of the extreme highs as well, because they will be there. Start trying out some different coping strategies to see what works for you. Maybe you like cuddling up with a TV show or book. Maybe you like going outside for a little while or talking to a friend. Remember that feelings and moments pass and you will be okay. A thought that many people have to process during recovery is missing your sick body. After suffering with an eating disorder where weight and shape are often on your mind, it makes sense that these thoughts might linger for a while. You will reach a point though where your life is way more important to you than your weight. My advice would be to avoid looking at old photos or any images of you or other people that might be triggering. Remind yourself that your eating disorder is going to glamorize the past, but in reality, recovery is the right choice. It's also quite common for people to feel lost and confused during recovery, because recovery is honestly really confusing. You're going to question yourself all the time. Is this the right thing to do? Should I be eating this? Should I be recovering? Should I be relapsing? Is it going to be worth it? But I'm here to tell you that recovery is the right choice. It's hard work and it's so challenging, but it's worth it. If you keep pushing, you will find yourself again and you won't feel lost and confused. My advice would be to remind yourself that recovery is worth it, that you can do it, and that you are enough. Try finding hobbies you love that will give you some purpose, and remind yourself why you want to recover. Most importantly, keep being brave. Whilst it's not always shown on social media, it is so common in recovery to crave and eat foods mostly deemed as quote-unquote unhealthy, which they aren't. All food is neutral. It's no surprise that your body is asking you for those kinds of food, as they have easily accessible energy that your body needs. Also, if you've been restricting these foods, it's only natural that you'd want more of them now. Remind yourself that there is absolutely nothing wrong with these foods, because, like I said before, all food is neutral. Advice from me is to eat all of the foods that you are craving. Don't restrict yourself before or after. Don't exercise to make up for it. Don't limit the amounts. Just have whatever you want and those thoughts will go away. Another part of recovery that is often necessary for people who need to physically recover is having to eat when you aren't hungry. Many people may experience a lack or disappearance of hunger cues after periods of restriction. Whilst this can make things quite difficult, it is still necessary to fuel your body. In time, if you regularly fuel yourself, your hunger cues will return. My advice is to fuel your body consistently with enough food. If you're uncomfortable, try using a hot water bottle and make sure you're being compassionate with yourself. Whilst also quite common, this one is definitely not talked about much, and that is eating past fullness. As you are probably relearning how to sense your hunger and fullness cues, you can't expect to instantly get it right. Things like this will take time to relearn. Also, when your body is healing, it will often need more food than your stomach might be comfortable with. Whilst this is so challenging, it's normal and an essential aspect of physical recovery. In early physical recovery, it's important to make sure you aren't filling up on just fruits and vegetables, as that can result in a full sensation without your body being properly nourished. It can also lead to a lot of gas and discomfort, so not many benefits to that one. My advice would be to eat however much you want, even if you're scared. If you eat past fullness, be kind to yourself and make sure to not restrict at the next meal. Continue as you usually would. Even though it's absolutely not necessary, many people experience guilt during recovery. When pursuing recovery, you're doing everything your eating disorder told you not to do. Doing this is so brave. The eating disorder is going to push back and try to win you back, no matter what. So you just have to block out those voices and keep doing what you know is the pro-recovery choice. My advice would be to recognize that the guilt is coming from the eating disorder and not yourself. You are not doing anything wrong, and eating is not something to feel guilt over. Try distracting yourself with friends, TV, family, books, movies, pets, or anything that makes you happy. The guilt will pass, just don't give in to it. I know that many of these things seem scary and possibly unpleasant, but I promise you they're all normal. Lots of people experience them and they get through them. It's worth it, I promise. No matter how hard it is, it's worth it on the other side, because all of these difficult things will go away and they will not last forever. I hope that hearing about all of these things is reassuring and makes you feel a little bit less alone in what you're going through. If you ever have any questions or things you want to talk about, make sure that you message me on TikTok or Instagram, or you can email me, and all of my platforms are listed in the show notes. Until next time, keep being brave and push past these hard bits so that you can get to full recovery. I believe in you, you got this.